application in your life, because these are simple but not easy types of concepts. But I really enjoyed how she explained the biochemistry, the biohacking.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we take some of these ingredients for granted, right?
Sure.
Think of something like active folate. There's research on it for all 4 stages of life, from preconception and conception through childhood, adulthood, and for seniors. But something as simple as folate that is now in our Woman's Complete and the new Frontier Men's Complete.
That's right.
The folate alone will help biohack through some of these, what they call these genetic SNPs, the single nucleotide polymorphisms, which basically means that your genetics increase your risk factor for different types of conditions, symptoms, and diseases. So something as simple as folate biohack around your genetic predispositions. So what are your thoughts?
What was so, I think, important about that, and you're saying it's right on the money. It's so simple, but yet it's so necessary. And you said through every stage of life, preconception, conception, all the way through adulthood. We used to think, Jamie, that only the people with that genetic SNP that couldn't absorb folic acid were the ones that needed folate.
Oh.
But no, everybody should be using the methylated folate, not plain folic acid. She explained why.
Yeah, now there's hundreds, or if not thousands of these steps. We're just really learning about the DNA. But the other thing we learned about was, this is from my mentor, Dr. Jeffrey Bland, is that, this whole thing with genetic determinism, he says, is a fallacy. Meaning, just because your ancestors had heart disease doesn't guarantee it. Genetics, he says, even in the best case scenario, is only up to 30%. So we have 70%, Joe, that we can influence, and what he calls that is nutrigenomics, right?
Yes, and the thing about that, Jamie, is also that, you've said this many times, and that is, people say, oh, it's in my family, they had it, I have it. They also have the same lifestyle, or they're the same habits, the same food they're eating.
The same environment.
Same environment. So it still comes down to
and this has been proven. We looked at thousands of studies on identical twins.
Yeah.
If they have the same genes, which they do, why wouldn't they present with the same diseases? Because once they change environments, if they move apart, then they're exposed to different environment and different stressors, and that's how the genes express or act. It's a dance, right? No different if you go out in the sun, which looks like you did over the weekend. Yeah. Your skin will bronze a little bit, mine will get red. It's because it's changed the environment it's in.
Yeah.
Now think about the internal inflammation, which we really talked about last weekend. Then you look at another biohacker like DMG.
Right.
Dimethylglycine, right, that we use in a lot of our formulas at Nutritional Frontiers. Plus, we have it in the standalones. But there's 5 U.S. patents on DMG. I was explaining this to a family member yesterday for their dog, and once they got done rolling their eyes, I said, well, there is a U.S. patent on it for the treatment of melanoma in animals. Yeah. And then their eyes stopped for a second.
Yeah, right? I mean, the whole history of DMG was animals first. Absolutely was. I love the presentation is, there's still a lot of people in our industry that don't even know about DMG. But Tracy pinpointed the exact point in the process, right, of the methylation process and showed you why it's so important.
And the thing I love about the animal case studies, Joe, is that there's no placebo.
That's right.
Because my dog won't lie, right?
That's right. That's right.
There's no placebo in animals. It's been used for horses, cats, dogs, all types of different animals. But so much great research on these biohackers. The other one I really loved a lot was the SPMs. So I'll let you take this one because I know the excitement on your face.
SPMs. And you know what, really, it's like I've been in this industry a long time, and so have you. And here's a new product that is just driving, the industry crazy because of how well it works. Specialized pro-resolving mediators. What does that mean? Well, these mediators your body makes to calm inflammation, right? They mediate the inflammatory process. And it's that simple. But you know what? Do you get them in your diet? No. I mean, you have them from omega-3 fatty acids, but this is one of those amazing nutrients that you've got to supplement with. And boy, does it make a difference.
Yeah, I've heard the terms from some leading experts in the field that this is the biggest game changer in nutraceuticals in over 20 years.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean, we've known, vitamin D3 made a big, resurgence, but we've known about it forever. Yeah. It's just now everybody's getting popular, but this is one of those game changers that's just come around recently. Wow.
So the other one I was excited about, because we didn't just stop there with the SPMs,
of course not.
The active folate, right?
Yeah.
Looking at things like DMG. but really excited about our partners at Gnosis with the Emodian,
Mm.
right? So we've been working with the company Gnosis for years, and they were the ones that brought out folate, but their new ingredient called Emodian, right? This is a patented research trademark glutathione that we use not only in our Live Complete,
Right.
but in our greens powder.
Yeah.
So why is glutathione so important? Well, one, it's a master antioxidant of the liver.
That's right.
You think about detoxification, you think about cleansing, you think about phase 2 support. It all leads to glutathione production, right? And what we found over the years, orally glutathione, I think it got a bad rap because one person was saying it didn't absorb well. And I think over time people started believing. So what did they go with? They went to liposomal glutathione. And what are your thoughts on how it smells?
I love eggs, but I don't like rotten eggs. Okay, and that's what it smells like.
So liposomal glutathione, we did not have a lot of success in our wellness center with that or Nutritional Frontiers. So we kept searching. We found the most bioavailable oral glutathione on the planet. It's called Emodian.
Yes.
And it's from our partner already at Gnosis.
Well, see, that's the beauty of it. And, when you say we searched, the search was a little easier because we have these strategic partners with these patented research trademarked ingredients. We don't have to go all over the globe. We go to our partners.
Yeah, and I was at the Supply Side East show last week in Secaucus, New Jersey, and our partners were there, many of our partners. So it was a nice time to gather new research and meet some new people and check out some new ingredients. So we're excited for the rest of this year and then the next year, some of the ingredients we're working on. But this Emodian is so interesting because what they did with the studies, Joe, is actually depleted glutathione levels in mice studies. And then they injected them with regular generic glutathione and increased it by about 50%.
Okay.
They went to NAC about 66%. However, when they use the Emodian, which Nutritional Frontiers uses in our Live Complete and our Lean Greens, it increased levels by 140%.
Wow, that's off the charts. That's off the charts. Glutathione probably doesn't get as much attention as a lot of the other antioxidants because of those things that you discussed. But it is as important, if not more important, than all the other ones. And it also has that ability, Jamie, to stop free radical damage by donating an electron to a cell that has lost one and become a free radical. So
yeah, and I think a lot of people that came up to me afterwards were really excited because they didn't realize the amount of the ingredients we use in the research and how they work behind it, even including some people on our own team, right? So just because we've heard it once or twice doesn't mean that we know everything about it. So you're going to hear more and more about these PRT, these patented research trademark ingredients, because they've been so effective. And effective in which way? Number one, safety, and number two, efficacy. Remember when Dr. Tracy shared a case study, I have chills all over, about how she got interested and exposed to DMG, was with a 6-month-old.
Yes. And she she went to the goat. She went to Mikey G. She goes, "Help me. What do you have?" And he said, "DMG." She goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, just liquid DMG. Give that baby 2 droppers full." The next day, the mother called her and said, "My God, what is this?"
That was really the turning point. I want to thank her for sharing that because it was so exciting to hear that. But very safe ingredients. So professional training event, excellent job. Our team did a really nice job down there too, supporting everyone. Thanks to Philly Phil. Can't wait to see the videos. Yeah. So that's coming to YouTube and Facebook real soon. So we're going to transition a little bit, Joe, because we're at a couple of big events later this month, right?
Yeah, we are.
So I'm going to be down actually at the Diplomat. This is in Hollywood, Florida, near Fort Lauderdale, at the A4M Spring Conference.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been to the Spring Conference in 3 years, so I'm excited to go back.
They haven't had a Spring Conference in 3 years.
That's probably why I haven't been there. Yeah. So we're really excited. It's talking about nurturing your second brain, which is your gut. So Nutritional Frontiers will be there at booth 1009, doing the whole expo, like we always like to do. We're going to have all of our samples down there and a great team. So come on down, booth number 1009. That's the A4M Spring Conference, April 28th to 30th, 2022 at the Diplomat in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad we're going to be there in a big way. But we're not done. We wouldn't stop there. Why go to just one conference on a weekend when there's 2? And we will also be in Houston
Houston, we have a problem.
We're going to fix that problem. But we're going to be there at the American Chiropractic Association Council on Wellness, and it's going to be Council on Nutrition. I'm sorry, but yeah, we'll be down there. I'll be there with Christine.
Slow down, Joe.
Lindstein.
Slow down.
I'm getting excited.
It's okay.
Lindstein.
I can tell. Christine Glein, Lindstein.
Lindstein. Dr. Mary Vaughn is presenting for us. It's going to be incredible. I saw her presentation. It's intense, and she's got to be one of the keynote speakers, so that's going to be great.
Wow, well, there you go. So we'll be at the ACA in Houston, Texas. The booth will be run by, of course, Lynn Stein and Joe Messino. Special guest speaker, Dr. Mary Van.
Yeah. It's an amazing presentation, and she's going to be at the booth after her presentation.
And then we'll be at the virtual naturopathic convention.
Right.
So we're making a video for that. So we'll be at 3 events in one, plus we have the Pittsburgh Marathon. So you don't have to run it this year, Joe. We'll have somebody else fill in for you.
Thank you.
So we got a few minutes left here. I thought maybe we'd do a recap on the April focus. What do you think?
Yeah, look, the April focus is important because it's all about allergies. Yeah, everybody focuses on allergies. And what we've been trying to get across to everyone, Jamie, is it's not really about the allergy. It's about your immune system, right? Let's go right back to the environment. Yeah. It's always the environment. It's always the host. So let's increase and improve the immune system. And we can do that in multiple ways with our offering for the month of April. A couple of things that people should be aware of here. This is the good old Mayo Clinic, because
what do they say?
Well, they say that if you're allergic to something, stay away from it. Good advice, right? Yeah, if your immune system doesn't make any antibodies for something, what are you going to do? I mean, here's a good one. I love this. And if you look at the avoid known triggers. Okay, pollen. Stay inside. Close your windows. Keep your doors closed. Thank you.
I like to be outside with my windows down.
This is a good one. If it's dust,
vacuum.
Dust and vacuum often.
That should take care of that, right?
You know what? Keep a diary. Tell your doctor, because he needs all the help he can get, and wear a medical alert bracelet. Look, in times of severe allergies, you do want to do that. Okay.
Yeah, and I get it, because people are exposed to so many different things, but we want to look at it a little differently, right?
Yeah.
Want to see, well, why is this occurring, right?
And we don't want to just put a Band-Aid on the situation.
Yeah. And sometimes you need to put a Band-Aid, right? If you're having a severe anaphylactic shock,
right, a
Band-Aid comes in handy. But, I talked about this case study at the event last week, right? Had this young man, he was 7 years old, young boy. Mom brought him in, and he had really bad psoriasis and eczema.
Yeah.
5 years, Joe. 250 allergy shots he had. And I asked the mom, how many he's going to take? She said, what do you mean?
251.
Yeah. I said, we're at 250. She never even thought of it. She goes, well, it's managing. I says, managing you right to my office. So after putting him on a mild candida cleanse and getting him some probiotics and getting him off dairy products, he had about 80% improvement in only 90 days.
Wow. Instead of 5 years, 90 days opposed to 5 years. And, that was something that you had a lot of experience with, because that's what got you into the industry.
Absolutely.
All right. So what's our approach, James? Well, our approach is simple. If an allergic response is a reaction of the immune system, should we do everything to strengthen it?
I agree.
Absolutely, yes. Everything that we can possibly do. So our number one formulation in this particular category, been around a long time, Air Max.
Love it.
Air Max. We have ProReds, also been around a long time. Now look at these formulations. They're like staples in our
tried and tested.
Exactly.
Right? Safe and effective.
2020, we know, started out as an eye formula, but it's also a great baseline antioxidant. We can show you why.
Well, that's the thing about a lot of our formulas. You can look at all the benefits you get, and it could cross-pollinate. And
sure.
Helping with allergies, help with inflammation, help with stress, help with immune boosting, right? There's a lot of crossover when you look at a comprehensive formula. That's why we're not big into single nutrients. We do have some, but most of our formulas are comprehensive,
right,
synergistic formulations, right?
Inflam is another one. It's a great natural anti-inflammatory. And again, an allergic response is an inflammatory response. Okay. Power Cleanse is there. And of course, the last one, the brand new Frontier Men's Complete. Boy, I'll tell you what, we've been showing that to people, and they can't, it's not, you can't even call it a multivitamin anymore. anymore, Jay. We
No.
got to come up with a new term for this.
Well, we call it men's complete. We don't call it a multi.
That's true.
So you're right. Good job.
Some of the things that Air Max, I mean, again, let's go back to our patented research trademarked ingredients.
Well, I got to talk about the first one, Benny Gut.
Yeah.
It's another Dr. Bland ingredient that he worked on for years, because we found is that, when you release the histamines, when the mast cell explodes, like the Zeppelin, right? It pops open and all these histamines are released. You can block the histamine release all day long, right? That'll fix some of the itchy eyes and watery nose and cough and sneezing and things. But if you really look at where is this started, he would say upstream medicine, right? If we would say the cause, right, not the cure. The cause is that you have an imbalanced T helper cells. That's part of your immune system. We're going to make it very simple for today's purposes. But these two T helper cells, it's like a feed forward cycle. When they get out of balance, it's like a snowball going downhill. You can't stop it. But with the Benny Gut, the perilla seed has the ability to do is actually modulate, and the T helper cells start to rebalance and calm down. Therefore, less mast cell production, less histamine production, less histamine release.
And perilla seed extract has been around a long time, but we didn't stop with that. We went with the patented research trademarked form.
You are on fire today, Joe. I'll tell you what. As cold as it is outside, he's hot on the inside here. I'll tell you what. So, of course, Albion Trax Minerals. Do you know what Trax stands for?
The real amino. Wait, no, I'm lost. You better get me here.
That's
the real
okay. I got
amino.
Chelated system.
Chelated. Yeah. That's the word. Okay, good.
So when you look at these Trax amino acids and their mineral connection, is that usually for a chelated mineral, what they do is they just combine the mineral and the amino acid.
Okay.
What Trax does at Albion, our partners, they use covalent bonds. So your body absorbs it like a protein. It's more bioavailable, right? It'll actually get inside the cell. It'll do something and very easy to excrete. So you want a good trademarked mineral complex, especially in a formula like this, because we're using specific minerals to do something, especially the zinc.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, when you have this type of absorption, you don't need as much. Of course, quercetin's been getting a lot of press, right, over the last year or so. Well, it's an outstanding antioxidant, and it has shown that it has a very positive effect on calming a cytokine storm, which is your body, really on fire, attacking something that's coming in. So quercetin has been very, very effective with that, but we've known for a long time about its effectiveness. It even went head to head with a drug, and it was better at reducing inflammation than an actual drug.
Fantastic. So this formula has everything in one. It's simple and easy to take. You can do capsules or chewable. In fact, we added elderberry because we've utilized that as a cough suppressant for so long, and a nasal decongestant, so it helps with the lungs and the sinuses.
Yeah, great formula, and I like the chewable form. Gets into the bloodstream really fast. So ProReds, again, been around since the beginning of nutritional.
Let's talk about this, because this is a fruit and veggie based powder.
Yeah.
There's one on TV right now. It's in a capsule.
Yeah.
So we did the math. You'd have to take 30 capsules of that to equal 1 scoop of ProReds, and you still wouldn't. You have to add ingredients to it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, look, powders. When it comes to fruit and vegetable mixes, when you want to get therapeutic levels, it's got to be in a powder, James.
And it's got not only that, we fortified it with other ingredients. I want to talk about a couple of these because it's easy to have a fruit and veggie powder. It becomes challenging when you start adding some of these nutrients. So, what PRTs or patented research trademark ingredients do we have in this one?
Well, right off the bat, I mean, take a look at this mix right here, okay? You've got arabinogalactans. Right? Arabinogalactans for your immune system, that's like food for your immune system. And it's also food for probiotics. It's an actual
It'll increase the number of immune cells in your intestinal tract.
Right.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. DMG, of course, we've got a brain health blend. We've got an ORAC blend, which stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity. How do you stop the spread of free radical damage? CoQ10 and L-carnitine and resveratrol all in one formula. Are you kidding me? And here's your PRTs. This is amazing. Glutamax. What a powerful one. Go ahead, take Glutamax.
Glutamax, one ingredient of the year. It's a combination of the 3 nutrients that are most nutrient dense in your center of your eye.
Yep.
which is lutein, RS, and RR zeaxanthin.
Mm-hmm.
So when you add those three nutrients up, that is what Glutamax is. So it's really key for the eye health.
Yes.
It's been studied for actually headaches due to blue light exposure and for sleep. Because people never think about eyes and light and sleep, right?
Right.
So this ingredient's fantastic. We have it in 2020, but we added it to the ProReds. You would think we would double the price on this thing, but we did not increase the price, Joe.
No. Great formula. Tastes great. So versatile. Fortify your water with it. Make ice cubes with it. Popsicles in the summertime. Great.
And someone asked me what DMG is. I said, darn mighty good. Yeah. Just remember that.
It's always in there.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of these formulas, this 2020, that when it came out, when, you know, we needed a really good eye formula, right? Wanted to really combine a lot of the different nutrients that are in other eye formulas, like we do on a regular basis. But when we looked at it, and we thought, wow, look at the antioxidants in this thing. Right off the bat, it's got ACEs.
I love the ACEs, right? Who doesn't like ACEs? That's your vitamin A, C, E, and selenium. Right. That is always the foundation of any antioxidant formula.
Always. And selenium is so important to be in there. Of course, we didn't stop there. We've got PRTs. We've got, again, the same zinc. We've got one of my all-time favorites, Activin.
Let's hear it, Joe, because
wow,
not enough people know about this.
Yeah,
I've heard it's got a lot of studies.
Lots of studies, everything from tumor suppression to women's health in general, eye health in general. I mean, it just goes on and on. I think there's over 90 different clinical trials. 90
published studies. Over 90, yeah.
Over 90. Grapeseed's a great antioxidant to begin with.
But no one knows about Activin.
No one knows about Activin. So if you're going to have grapeseed, why not have a patented research trademark form of it?
Yeah, why not?
Glutamax is in this as well.
You deserve it, don't you?
Absolutely. Glutamax is in this as well. The studies on that, as you mentioned, with blue light especially. And lycomado. If you're going to take lycopene, which comes from tomatoes, why not have a patented research trademark?
Great updates. I love the formulation.
NAC is in here, N-acetylcysteine. Why? Because it is, like you mentioned earlier, one of the main precursors to glutathione.
It helps your body. If you were, looking to build glutathione, one of the ingredients that could help is NAC.
Right, absolutely necessary. Also, very good for respiratory health. But
that's the Glutamax right there.
There it is.
Zeaxanthin and astaxanthin combination. We have the RR and the RS, two different forms of it, in there with the lutein.
And a therapeutic level of astaxanthin.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
That you normally could get, you would buy it by itself at 4 milligrams. Well, it's a component of 2020. Quercetin is back, right? If it's good, keep putting it in there. And alpha lipoic acid, which again is another one of those key antioxidants, Jamie. It's both fat and water soluble.
It's a nice point on that one because you need it both.
Yeah, in
both ways depending on the tissue you're in.
Right, especially if it's for eye health, you need that. So Inflam, this was a formula that we pretty much wanted to come out with for people that didn't want any animal byproducts in a natural anti-inflammatory.
Yeah,
omegas and fatty acids are great anti-inflammatories.
Yeah, we wanted an herbal base anti-inflammatory. I love the fact we put holy basil because not only inflammation but pain.
Yes,
we don't think of that as someone used for pain. The other one I love a lot is boswellia. So you put those combinations in there with curcumin. I mean, what a home run this formulation
is. And berberine, there's another standalone product that most people have. Most companies will have it as a standalone. We have it as a component of Inflam, and there's your boswellia. So it's all in there. Powerful formula.
A lot of people know about frankincense or essential oils.
Yeah.
That is the traditional name of boswellia. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's great to use as a base for a lot of the anti-inflammatories, but we didn't use it just by itself. We put these other ingredients in. So,
and you and I have been around in this industry. They used to sell it by itself.
I keep saying we've been around like it's a long time here. We got a lot of experience, but
Oh, that's a better way of putting it.
We got a lot of experience. Are you experienced?
Yeah, I am. Oh boy, Jimmy. All right, here we go. The new one. There it is. The Frontier Men's Complete.
A little drum roll.
Wow. I mean, how long has the Women's Complete been out now? 2 years?
Yeah, I got to give them a head start.
Yeah.
That formula was a home run. So based on the foundation of the Women's Complete, we brought the Men's Complete. So you have your active vitamins. You have your chelated trace minerals.
Right.
Then we put in the specialty ingredients and the superfood blend. So excellent We thought
You're right.
about, okay, when a man's, aging, what are some of the issues? Cardiovascular disease, still number one.
Absolutely.
Hormone and prostate health, number two, right?
Hmm.
And then we look at, of course, immune support and circulation.
Yeah, that covers all the bases. And you're right. This is not a multivitamin. This is a complete formulation for health.
I like the addition of things like red beet powder, right?
Yeah.
The red beet powder has been used just by itself for circulation
Sure.
improvement, right? It helps
Nitric
with
oxide production.
absolutely helps with blood pressure,
Hmm.
NO production, nitric oxide production, circulation. So there's been a lot of great published studies, including one showing that it helps with C-reactive protein, right?
Ooh,
High
yeah.
reactive C-reactive protein, right? Or high sensitivity C-reactive protein.
Mm,
It's an inflammatory marker.
right.
So if you're doing testing on the body, you want to see, hey, if this is high, it's because there's some kind of inflammation going on. So we're always concerned with things like that.
Absolutely. And the CoQ10 at 100 milligrams?
It
Where do you
is.
see 100 milligrams of CoQ10 in
Fantastic.
a complete
You do not.
multivitamin?
No.
No, you do not.
Sometimes
This
you
is
don't even see it by itself. You may see 30 or 50.
Yes. Yeah. But this is complete. So again, all the things you mentioned, yeah, we're covering all of the issues for men.
So we want to help with reproductive health. We want to help
Sure.
with salt palmetto, things like that, which can help with prostate health. 1 every 2 men, that means one of us, if we live long enough, will have an issue with prostate or prostate cancer, right? Lycopene is that red carotenoid that we know is really potent at helping with prostate health, right?
Right.
There's been studies showing that by itself can have excellent benefit.
Mhm.
We use a patented research trademark version of it. So it actually keeps the prostate gland normal size, because that starts to swell, it gets inflamed, and that's high risk for prostate.
Didn't you tell a story
prostatitis.
about the tomato paste?
Yeah. So there's a patient that came in the wellness center. That's the cool thing about having a wellness center. You
Yeah.
hear a lot of these home remedies, Joe, which is
Mhm.
on my topic list for one of our events. Home remedies, right? So this gentleman came in and said he had prostate cancer and he cured himself. That was his words, not ours. He was not a patient here until after the prostate cancer. We asked him, what do you think was the key thing? He says, oh, I read about lycopene. So I
Mhm.
started eating raw tomato paste out of the can. And lo and behold, less than a year later, prostate cancer gone. So folks, if you look at food in general, a lot of the solutions are right in front of you.
Goes right back to let food be your medicine.
Yeah, and
right?
look at a walnut. You ever crack it open? What's it look like?
A brain.
Yeah, you look at a tomato. It's red with 4 chambers. What's it look like?
It looks like a heart.
And it's good for the heart, right?
Mhm.
So you look at some of these nutrients out there, and tomatoes are also good for the prostate, right? But you look at some of these nutrients, and they tell you exactly what they're good for, right?
Yeah.
They even call, you look at a sweet potato, right?
Uh-huh.
You look at those, and it almost looks like, your pancreas,
It does.
right?
Absolutely.
So you look at these nutrients, kidney beans. I mean, they even call it that.
Yeah,
It looks like the
right.
kidneys, right? Because beans are real good for cleaning. So these foods are out there, folks. That's why you want to eat live, real foods as much as possible.
Exactly. So, I mean, look, it's a 4 capsule dose, but some people could take 2. You could
You take one?
One. I mean, whatever you want is going to give you. Even one capsule is going to give you more
Yes.
than most of the conventional ones out there. So, this of course, we have all the studies that back it up. Always do, and they're always available on the Nutritional Frontiers website.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Joe. Thanks to Philly Phil. Thanks for all your support. Welcome back after a nice long holiday weekend.
Right.
We are going to continue to do our education events weekly, and we got 3 events we'll be at the end of the month: the A4M in Hollywood, Florida, the ACA in Houston, Texas, and the Naturopathic Convention that's virtual. So thanks for all support.